Hiya folks, it's Kikoskia here, and welcome back to Let's Play Pillars of Eternity. And when last we left off, we've spent quite a bit of time in Caed Nua. We helped out a veteran of the Saints' War by offering to have a dear chat with them about his experiences in the conflict, and then we checked out Bright Hollow, which looks incredibly beautiful. I decided to rest here until Adir returned back to our party, but I got interrupted by something with Durance. A strange vision of sorts. Whereupon I learnt that he was one of the people that made the Godhammer that slew Waidwen, and Aethys by extension. I think I said a few things that Durance didn't want to hear, but perhaps needed to hear. But that is the past. It is now time for us to do a bit more resting, so that we can get Adir back in the party. Now I could rest again and get the mechanics bonus, and we will. Just rest again. This now puts this at 1 day and 17 hours. And if we go to here, Adir will be back in 4 days and 7 hours. So it's time to rest a bit more. Just take a few days, relax, unwind. And soon enough, Adir will return. Unfortunately, I can't click this and say, rest for 5 days.
Animancy seems to be the topic of the hour here. You've closer dealings with souls than I do. What do you think of it?
I think it's incredible that we hold such power over our own souls, and yet it's dangerous too. Are you not interested in the subject, Kana? Oh no, I find it fascinating. I don't think you can really study the Anguithans without delving into the techniques and research that Animancers are pioneering today. It's all very organized, I find. Dosages and measurements. Whereas with the Anguithans, their gifts with Ardra and soul energy seem more like art. The one is the star chart, and the other is a ballad sung by a lonely pilot. Interesting. But that's not all. If we go to this, 2 hours to go. Now, we rest once more. And the library is completed. With that, there is one more thing that we can build, and that is the Woodland Trail. In 3 days, that will be done, and then every single thing in Caed Nua will be built. And thus, we spent a few days...
I'm sorry if I was a little tactless before, about your being a watcher. I didn't really understand what was involved. Is it hard, hearing the spirits all the time?
It can be a little overwhelming sometimes. I imagine so. All the gathered dead clamoring for attention. Sorry. At any rate, we're bound to find a solution. You can count on my help until we do. Kana's being very talkative. Okay. 1 day and 20 hours until Adir's back. Alright. Couple more rests. And probably Kana talking about more stuff. Kana is talkative. And I appreciate it. Okay. Oh, something happened. A distant relative of Nirid has arrived at the Stronghold requesting to be free. They be freed in exchange for coin. Okay. I will accept the money and have him be freed. Hopefully Nirid has learned his lesson. If we ever encounter Nirid again and he's gone back to trading Sveth, I imagine the punishment will be much more severe for whoever finds him. I hope that's not us. We will accept the money. He is now free. And we got 700 for it. So now we have just 14 hours here, so 2 more rests. And there we go. After spending some time together, Adir was able to help Odenya Firegrest reconcile with their past. Now, I imagine we can get a deer back in our party.
I'm here.
I just need to find a deer. Is a deer in here? Is a deer in here? No. Here? No. Here? No. Here? Where is a deer? Okay, if I do this, recruit him back, accept. There we go! And I can drag you over to here. Welcome back, buddy.
I'm here.
Nice to have you back at the team. Thanks for closing the door. Very polite of you. Let us now go and... We could buy some... Ooh. Could I buy some ingredients?
At once.
Because we do have a shop here that could sell some stuff. Could we buy something that would allow me to enchant my arquebus? Because I do want that enchanted to become exceptional. I have been eyeing that exceptional arquebus. So, if I go to my arquebus here and enchant it, if I want exceptional, I need 2 Vithrak brains and some rubies.
I'm here.
Last thing the Deerwood needs is another foreign colony.
I don't know where I'm going to get rubies from. So that's the curio shop. That's the artificer's hall. That's the craft hall. So, that's the vanguard soldier. Is there someone out here that I can... Oh, I could go in! Okay, I can just pop in. What do you have to sell in the curio shop?
I'm here.
I've not been in here before. Essence shimmers within these bottles. Dozens of spider legs protrude from the necks of these bottles.
Hail, traveller.
It's good to see you, my lord. I have all manner of odds and ends here, acquired from every corner of the Deerwood. Spider venoms, skulder ears, anything you might wish. I'd like to see your wares. Certainly. So you have... You have Vithrak brain! Oh, you have a Vithrak brain. That is something I really want. So we will buy this Vithrak brain. I will give you some flour. You actually don't want the flour. But I will trade you... Oh, I can trade you those. Cool. 1 Vithrak brain, please. Very pleased about that. The only problem is we don't have any rubies. But we've now got that.
Yes?
So, we only need 1 more. And then we're good to go. Maybe
This place, as beautiful as it can be with the absence of children.
Now, the botanical garden apparently is meant to give us stuff. But it doesn't give us stuff like this. There is our Crucible Knight, just chilling out. Waiting on your orders, milady. Now, let's pop into here and see if there's a ruby or 2 we can buy. There's some stuff to look at, certainly. The folded shirts feel soft and lightweight. Dried fruits, cured meat, and mixed nuts are sorted among the display box cases.
Yes.
What do you
Hail,
sell?
traveller.
Good tidings, my lady. Might I interest you in anything? I offer supplies for the road. I'm sure you'll find many things of use for a hardy traveller such as yourself. One could never be too prepared. Ah, you just sell guns. And armour, all fine. You also sell torches. Okay.
I'm here.
Not what I was expecting, but I won't say no. It's a good source of equipment. The last store that I've not been to yet is not the
Last thing the Deerwood needs is another
Yes?
foreign colony.
Is the Artificer's Hall. Perhaps this is where I can get some rubies. I imagine there'll be a ruby or 2 along the main quest. This looks like something from an Adheran drinking game in which several vials are filled with water and one with concentrated Sonrid liquor. Springs, gears, and wires jangle around in the crate. Interlocking rings are carved with peculiar symbols. They slide across one another with a soft series of clicks.
How do you do?
Greetings, my lady. Here you'll find only the most ingenious of contraptions, oils and snares and dwimmer crafts, all to fetter and frustrate your foes. Do you wish to have a look? Ah, you just have traps. Okay, we are not interested in those traps.
I'm here.
Still, good to know this is here. Now, with a deer back in the party, we can now go and...
I'm here.
I must say, I'm impressed.
Thank you! We can now go back to Defiance Bay and head into the sanitarium. There we can not only check the lead that we've got... Oh,
You must gather your party before
Hey.
venturing
I will!
forth.
You two seem
Yes.
not to be interested. But we could also see if we can help out Aloth. Now, Brackenbury, 22 hours. Soon enough as well, we'll have a fully upgraded Stronghold. I wonder if there's an achievement for that. There might be. A wealthy noble by the name of Lord Sidrock has arrived at the Stronghold. He seeks your aid
Bring
in
back the feisty one. There's a woman can do some damage squeezing her legs together.
Woodland...
Isn't a parlor trick. Besides, she doesn't take orders well.
She has backbone, that woman. Does it scare you?
No, but I won't be responsible for what happens if you call her whore.
A little bit more dialogue between the two of them. We have another thing going on in Caed Nua. Gonna have to deal with that in due time. But first, let's have some conversations here. Are you still outside? Yes, you are. That's reassuring. Every time I come here, I check to see if you're there. Right. First things first. Let's talk to you and see if we can get some help for Aloth. And this is when we can get no help for Aloth. Save. And have a chat.
I'm here.
Well met, friend.
Ah, the Watcher. What brings you here? Does anyone here know anything about awakenings? There is an animancer on the lower floor who came all the way from Ravua to study them. Take the stairs down and look for Belisarge. Farewell. We'll ask about that later. Oh,
I'm here.
that person. But I was like, I'm awoken. And she went, well, that's interesting, but not quite what I'm looking for. Aloth is the person she's looking for. I hope they haven't left. So, in here. At some point we're going to go through that door, but not just yet. Hello! Remember when I said I'd
Yes?
keep my eyes out for you? Something else you need? I'm looking for an expert on awakenings. That would be me, though my lack of research subjects has made me more of an expert in counting floorboards. I would like to transfer Anamancy's success in buttressing pre-awakened souls to soothing those whose souls have already awakened. But I need subjects, and most of the patients here are too broken to produce reliable results. It's a tragedy to have come so far for nothing. But you're in luck. I have a volunteer. She springs to the balls of her feet, beaming. Galard! Who is it? Aloth's lip curl into a frown. I don't know about this. She grins more broadly still. Don't be silly. The process is perfectly harmless. All you have to do is stand in that cage. So about that harmless part. I beg your pardon? I jest. You Adherents are so uptight. I do not even know what the thing is used for. It belonged to my last occupant of this office, I think. Now they upgrade him to a cell. Again, I jest. She rubs her hands together, getting down to business. So, I need you to sit here. She takes Aloth by the shoulders and steers into the couch. And try to relax. But don't try too hard. Then you will not be relaxing. Indeed. His eyes are humorless. And you must also wear these. A little gold, but the copper will help conduct your essence. The Adamancer fastens thick copper bands to Aloth's forehead and wrists. As she ratchets them tighter, his face twitches with suppressed irritation. Now I will examine your soul through my scope. She reaches into her desk and produces a long chambered tube. Knobs, dials, and small toothed wheels run along the side of the device. It is fitted with Ardra lenses cut to different thickness and concavities. By manipulating them, I can find the angles and densities that will allow me to track the anomalies in your soul. How exciting! I've never seen this sort of thing performed. Kana peers the device with interest. It seems suitably complicated. Does this mean we'll get to talk to Isilmir more? I like that lady. His mind is full of hesitations, angles upon angles. Drawing him out of his own fears will be difficult. She raised a finger. But first, we must find this cunning interloper. You will answer some personal questions while I make adjustments. Aloth squirms on the couch. Very well. She holds the scope to her eye and flicks a knob. To begin, tell me something personal. something from a time before your awakening. There's nothing to tell. I was just a normal child living in the Sithwood. He looks to you. His face is set in a frown, but the rigid edges of apprehension show through nevertheless. What do you remember about your home? As you speak to Aloth, you feel your voice like a bell in your chest. It tolls softly, luring him into the mists of his own memory. But Lesage doesn't seem to notice anything, but you feel as if your words are soothing his essence, untangling its many threads. He closes his eyes. Comfortable, modest, quiet when Mother was away, which is most of the time. Quiet enough to hear the clink of glass on wood. This is when I know to be most careful. Father is good about hiding the bottles. Mother, when she is home, is good at pretending not to notice them. This is good. I'm starting to see something. Continue. Tell us of the time you awakened. She bites her tongue as she twists one of the dials. I am in my 5th year of training. Mother is home. I can let my guard down a little because when she's around, he's usually only angry with her. But he has heard that I have trouble casting missiles, that my flame shields are unstable. He is furious that I've failed, and Mother's presence reminds him that he has failed too. The first blow takes me by surprise. One moment I'm sweeping the kitchen, the next I'm sprawled on the ground, stupidly looking at flecks of my blood on the tile. His boots, glistening with fresh polish, thud across the floor. He kicks me in the stomach, and I curl up to shield my vitals. But it's pointless. Protecting one thing only leaves something else exposed. Still huddled on the ground, I retreat as fast as I can. I retreat until the vision of the kitchen and my own trembling knees is nothing but a pinprick against a field of black. His jaw locks and his eyes twitch beneath their lids. Madicio! Belisage furiously cranks the knobs along the scope. He's hypnotized himself with his own memory. You've got to bring him out of it. Quickly! I almost have it! You're safe. Everything's fine. Aloth's eyes snap open, but the expression you see in them isn't his. He's near safe when I hap upon him. Belisage sucks a deep breath through her teeth. That's it! I'm seeing a shift in his essence. Something spreading and congealing. She glances at you over her scope. Keep talking. He seems to respond to you. What brought you here? Cracking bones and voice high in air. That warm molasses feeling that grips down your gut when crisis is nigh. Belfetto. We have flares of a totally distinct essence. She jots shorthand notes into the pages next to her and turns one clicking knob of her scope. Now, try to get the two of them talking. Isomir, tell Aloth why you've awakened. Why, he's the one needed me, hiding in his own bone bag like a turtle in its shell. Aloth's face twists in fury. I never turned it over to you. Good, yes, very good. She rests from her scribbling, only to make another adjustment to the scope. I can now see two separate patterns of essence. Where he ebbs, the other flows. It's as if the awakened soul fills the spaces that he leaves empty. She prompts you with a circling of her wrist, quills to her hand. Go on. Aloth, what's this about ceding space to Isomir? He grits his teeth painfully. I've given her nothing. She usurps me in my own body. Aye, and I lend him a pair too. Ye should ask what I did that old man of his. How the last time he laid a hand on us, I brake it in 3 places. Aloth's head jerks to the side. That wasn't your decision. It's never been your decision. Nay, it was awakening, but now I'm stuck with ye, and damned if I let your ninnying drag us both through the scupper. Very good. She lowers her scope and consults her notes. I think I've finally got something we can work with. I've tracked Isilmir's essence throughout the exchange. She had a particularly high density index during the most heated portions of their argument, and her essence seems to localize almost certainly in the lower portion of the subject's left ribcage. That's right around the spleen, which of course means that she is triggered by black bile. No doubt the subject's characteristic melancholy is to blame. Aloth blinks back at you, and in the midst of his perturbation, he's not quite sure who's looking out of his eye. That's utter horseshit. Black bile, is it? They've certainly spat their share. Connor studies Aloth dubiously. It is a simpler explanation than I expected, all things considered. She glares at him. Yes, never mind my years of training. I suppose you have a better explanation? Isilmir manifests when Aloth is in danger or under pressure. Belisage carefully scratches her jaw, her gaze darting between you and Aloth. I suppose that could be true. She jots another note. I'll have to check this against other research. He removes the copper bands. Well and good for you, but what does this mean for me? Belisage frowns at her notes, tapping her cheek with a quill, making a grand show of concentration. However, you catch her stealing a glance at you over the pages. I could point this to... this is tricky. It's a complicated situation because Isilmir is an interloper of sorts, but Isilmir is their own person, their own being. Aloth could try and talk to Isilmir and see if they can understand each other better. If nothing else, perhaps this means that they could cooperate more, and there can be an amicable solution ultimately brought up, created, that will help them both. I don't know. This is not something that we're skilled in. We're only barely managing to be a watcher. She did you a favour by dealing with your father, didn't she? I think she's trying to help you stand up for yourself. You may not like her methods, but you should hear her out at least. If you had to listen to her half as much as I do, you wouldn't say that. He scowls, but you notice something thoughtful in his frown. I've got a lot to process. Regardless, thank you for your help, Lirin. He does not look at Belisage. She sets her notes on her desk and returns to her scope. Well, I hope this has been as useful to you as it has been for me. I finally have material worth publishing. You'll be the toasted reviewer, Fentre Aloth. His grimace melts into a crooked smile. Aye, advancing the right-wise principles of animancy, just like you've always wanted. As you turn to leave, you catch a darting movement out the corner of your eye. Belisage is humming to herself, still occupied with her scope, but Aloth is holding her notes. He's just about to tuck them into his cloak when he catches you watching. He holds a finger to his lips, his eyes wide and imploring. Please, I don't want my personal information published like this, especially not after her nonsense. No. You get your explanation, and she gets her research. That was the deal. He slides the papers back onto the desk, giving you a rueful look. I'm nae gonna help you explain this one, scholar boy. I could have told him to snatch up the documents, but no, this was the deal. I'm not gonna con her out of that. It's a difficult situation, Aloth, but we'll find a way to solve it. We'll find a way. But that'll be for next time, folks, as when we come back, we're going to go up to the main floor and speak to the head of the sanitarium about the lead we got with the leaden key. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you're not. If you are subscribed, press that bell for those notifications. And I'll catch you next time, folks. And I'll see you then. Later.